Good afternoon. Today is March 11th, 2022. Welcome to the voting session for the Ways and Means Committee. The first bill on the voting list is House Bill 15, and there are amendments. Delegate Lukey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 15 is a bill that was introduced. It's duly assigned. It was introduced with a provision that would eliminate the sales tax on native plants. Given the complexity of implementation of that, the subcommittee decided to strip that component of it. The remainder of the bill is really E&T related. So we're gonna, the amendment strips the portion that's really Ways and Means related, and we would then be sending it over to E&T for them to make a decision on those components. So I move the amendments.
Second.
All in favor, any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Okay, the bill before us is favorable, or is there a motion on the bill?
Move favorable as amended.
Second.
On the bill as amended? Okay, any reason this should be a roll call?
No.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, the bill as amended passes. Thank you. House Bill 89, and there are amendments as well. Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill initially set up stabilization and expansion grants for child care providers. It was an ongoing grant program. In awarding grants, MSD will give certain priority. We have amendments. The amendment strikes the expansion part of the grant program. It also changes the stabilization grant portion from being an ongoing to a one-time allocation of funds for child care providers who have faced hardship during COVID-19. It requires MSD to administer the grants in FY23 and sets a list of preferential priority child care providers who receive the grants. Move the amendments.
Second.
Discussion on the amendments. Delegate Buckle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Delegate Ebersol, I kind of like the bill, but I'm just trying to figure out with the amendments that's been done, that's turned it into that's eliminated the expansion grant portion and turns it into a one-time or one fiscal year expenditure. What's the impact of that on the fiscal note? Do you have any analysis of what that will turn it into from what we had in the original note?
I think I have the figure correct. I don't have it in front of me, but $16 million has been set aside. No, this is $50 million has been set aside for this for next year, 1 year.
So it's a $50 million 1 year program rather than what the original note said.
And it's on stabilization only, not on expansion. We have another one coming on expansion soon.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on the amendments? Okay, is there a motion on the bill?
Yes, move favorable, Madam Chair, as amended.
Second.
How'd you beat Ivy on that one, Barnes? That's amazing.
I've been working on that.
Okay, let's keep the quips to a minimum. All in favor, is there a need for a roll call on this? Buckle, your hands up. Is that just? Okay.
It's just from the question.
Okay, all in favor of the bill as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, the bill passes as amended. Thank you. House Bill 993, there are amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
We're 993, sorry. I have mine in numerical order. House Bill 993 creates a child care capital. This is the bill I referred to a second ago. Revolving loan fund for capital improvements, acquisition of property, various other ways that you can capitally make your daycare larger. It's only available to child cares that participate in the child care scholarship program. And there's an amendment. The amendment replaced the State Department of Education as the agency that administers the revolving loan fund to the Department of Commerce. They will do it with the advice of the Department of Education. That was because they're pretty good at collecting on loans. It's a revolving loan, so obviously it comes back. The money comes back and can be reloaned to other people. It's interest free. I should add that there is preferential priority, but not requirements for areas that receive the grants.
Is there a motion on the amendments?
Yeah, I'll move the amendments.
Second.
Discussion, Delegate Hornberger.
Yeah, just a question. The original fiscal note mentioned the priority areas, but it didn't define, it just used sort of nebulous language about what the priority area was. Does the amendments put a finer point on the priority areas?
They do indeed, and I can read them to you in order. I didn't know if you'd be interested in that first reading. We set an order of preference, so we kind of did them from top to bottom, what we thought should be the first priority. In underserved areas or areas lacking childcare slots. Next, in rural areas. Next, in areas that serve primarily low-income populations. Next, in areas that serve children with special needs. And finally, in areas it really is not areas so much as he's written areas here, should be child cares that serve children under the age of 2.
Okay, thank you.
Discussion on the amendments? Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
We move favorable as amended, please.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the bill as amended? Anyone requesting a roll call? Okay, all in favor of the bill as amended, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, the bill passes. Thank you. House Bill, and Eversol, these were in numerical order, so I don't know what numerical order you were going by.
I have a
House-
725 somewhere. I don't know. That threw me off
Okay.
a bit. Sorry.
House Bill 1100, and there are amendments. Delegate Eversol.
Yes. House Bill 1100 is a program that would provide bonuses to employees and to employers in the child care system. There are 2 levels of employees. One will receive, who are already credentialed, will receive a $1,000 bonus. Ones who come on board will be entitled to a $500 bonus, and if they stay and get credentialed, 506 months. But the amendments change a few things in the bill. One is that the new employees will have to wait 3 months and work for 3 months before they get their initial $500 bonus, so they don't come in and run. We don't think many people will do that. Alistair, I don't have the amendments that's completely in front of me. Have I missed anything?
No.
Is he on?
Yes, he
on.
said
I'm
no.
sorry. I
Okay.
shook my head.
Did I miss anything there?
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that covers it.
Okay. I move the amendment.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the amendments? Okay, roll call on the amendments. I'm going to do a roll call on the bill. All those in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I will.
Okay. Is there a motion on the bill as amended?
Move the bill as amended, Madam Chair.
Second.
Okay, discussion, Delegate Griffith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this is the only bill of this package that I have any concerns with at all. And the biggest concern is, for me, picking winners and losers. There are tons of industries that are being crushed with labor shortages right now. All those industries, including daycare, received opportunities for various COVID funding, but none of them are getting this bite of the apple that I'm aware of. And my concern is, with every other industry in the States seeing this, they're gonna want to know where is their extra money for bonuses for their employees. And I feel like this does pick winners and losers, especially when we're doing a package of 6 bills or 5 other bills that provide significant support for daycare. I think we're doing enough. I think we're stepping a little bit outside the scope right here. And so I'm deeply concerned about that, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to add to the conversation. I wanted to thank the chair for the work and the sponsors of this bill for the efforts related to childcare. And I want to remind all of us that when it comes to childcare, this industry and the success of this industry is critical to us being able to ensure that our economy in Maryland is able to thrive and recover after the pandemic. Without strong childcare workers, we will not be able to have our workers and our families able to contribute to the economy and be at work. So I think that this is a really critical bill. We did, I think, 5, and I think we probably need even 5 more to ensure the strength of our childcare workers. So thank you for this bill.
Other discussion?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Delegate Butler?
Thank you, Madam Chair. One thing I'm not sure how many people are aware of this, but there were grants that were given that I think came from federal money, and they were given out by the Comptroller's Office. And in these grants that were given previously, part of that money did go to giving bonuses to people that were working in the industry. I think this is something that we really don't need at this time. Bonuses were given if you got those grants, and this is just really just a waste of money at this point. And like the other delegate had mentioned, that this is picking winners and losers. There are a lot of other industries whose workers desperately could use something like this, and they will not have the opportunity for it. And they are just as essential as these daycare workers are. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments on the legislation? Delegate Lisanti.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just wanted to say, I think this bill is a win-win. The issue of insufficient childcare truly didn't start with COVID, and it's not going to be fixed with this bill. It's a long-term issue that parents struggle with all the time. And I think that this bill is a giant step forward to trying to get parents back to work, because without sufficient childcare, they cannot go back to work. So thank you. And let's do a win for everybody.
Any other comments? I'm scrolling through 2 screens of people, so if I don't see your hand, just say something. Okay, so we are going to do a roll call on the favorable as amended. The Vice Chair.
I vote yes.
Delegate Attar.
Yes.
Delegate Barnes.
Yes.
Delegate Butler.
No.
Delegate Branch.
Yes.
Delegate Buckle.
No.
Delegate Charles.
Yes.
Delegate Ebersol.
Yes.
Delegate Feldmark.
Yes.
Delegate Griffith.
No.
Delegate Guyton.
Yes.
Delegate Hartman.
Heck no.
Delegate Hornberger.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Delegate Jones.
Yes.
Delegate Lisanti.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Delegate Long.
No.
Delegate Lukey.
Yes.
Delegate Plakovich Carr.
Yes.
Delegate Patterson.
Yes.
Delegate Rose.
No.
Delegate Wilkins.
Yes, and co-sponsor requests, please.
That we can do because this bill has an amendment. So reminder to the rules, if the bill has amendments, we can say me too. And everyone on my screen looks frozen. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
We hear you.
That was me voting twice. Yes.
Okay, co-sponsor and the the chair votes yes. Okay, the bill passes as favorable as amended. Okay, House Bill 192, and there are amendments, the Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 192 is a local Baltimore County Board of Education bill that authorizes the student member of the Baltimore County Board of Education to vote on capital and operating budget matters. The amendment before you requires the student board member to undergo a training on budgeting developed by the members of the County Board of Education in order to be able to vote on budgetary matters. I move the amendments.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
So moved.
Second.
I saw one opposed.
Yeah, two hands.
Delegate Botler and,
April.
okay. Vote no on the amendments. Thank you. I missed that.
I moved the bill as amended.
Second.
There discussion on the bill as amended? And roll call, I'm thinking on this one. Okay, thank you. We'll do a roll call. The motion is favorable as amended. The vice chair,
Yes.
Delegate Attar,
Yes.
Delegate Barnes,
Yes.
Delegate Botler,
No.
Delegate Branch,
Yes.
Delegate Buckle,
No.
Delegate Charles,
Yes.
Delegate Ebersol,
Yes.
Delegate Feldmark,
Yes.
Delegate Griffith,
Yes.
Delegate Guyton,
Yes.
Delegate Hartman,
No.
Delegate Hornberger,
Yes.
Delegate Ivy,
Yes.
Delegate Jones,
Yes.
Delegate Lasanti,
Yes.
Delegate Long,
No.
Delegate Lubke,
Yes.
Delegate Plavkovich Carr,
Yes.
Delegate Patterson,
Yes.
thank you, Delegate Rose,
No.
and Delegate Wilkins.
Yes.
Bill passes as favorable as amended. Thank you. Okay. House Bill 243, there are amendments. The Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 243 is a local Baltimore County Board of Education bill. It alters the scholarship award for a student.
Montgomery, I think Montgomery County.
Did I say Baltimore again?
Yeah.
My bad. My bad. I just love Baltimore so much, you know. It's a local Montgomery County Board of Education bill. It alters the scholarship award for a student member of the Montgomery County Board of Education to be equal to the cost of the annual tuition, mandatory fees, and room and board for a resident undergraduate student to attend the institution within the university system of Maryland. The amendment clarifies that the amount of a scholarship granted in any year to the student member cannot exceed the amount that an elected member of the county board is entitled to receive during that year. I move the amendments and also move that I run for a school board member. School board.
Second.
Discussion on the amendments. Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
I move the bill as amended.
Second.
Discussion on the bill as amended. Anyone like a roll call on this one?
I had a question, Madam Chair.
Oh, I can't see you, Delegate Long, so I didn't know. But
Okay,
go ahead.
Is the county paying this money for fees and everything that this bill deals with?
Is the question is the county paying for it? Yes.
Yes, for Montgomery County.
Yes.
Okay, I got a problem. Thank you.
Discussion on the bill. If you can, Delegate Long, please put on your camera so that way I can.
Our cameras, I thought was on, man.
Oh, no, it's
You
not.
look like a ghost, Bob, like an
Yeah.
apparition is
I just
voting
saw
over
your
top of your
hand,
face.
yeah.
Yes, something's covering it. Okay.
He's got to turn off his background.
So we are on the bill favorable as amended. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. The ayes have it and the bill passes favorably as amended. Thank you.
It should go pretty quick, yeah.
House Bill 302, there are amendments. And this is Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill authorizes the county to grant a property tax credit to a homeowner who does not qualify for the homeowner's property tax credit because their home exceeds the limit due to expenses related to financial hardship. The amendments are just clarifying. Move the amendments.
Second.
Discussion on the amendments? Okay, motion on the bill?
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Discussion on the bill? Okay, need for a roll call? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, please say nay. Okay, the bill passes favorably as amended. Thank you. House Bill 328, and there are amendments. Delegate Wilkins. Delegate Wilkins, are you with us? Okay.
Delegate Jones could probably do this bill, right?
Wait. George, are you on here? I mean, not George.
No, Stan.
Stan, yeah, I meant Stan. Sorry. Stan, can you discuss the bill, please?
Sure. So the amendments, well, I guess the bill repeals restrictions in state law relating to locating a polling place in a building that includes an establishment that has an alcoholic beverages license. The amendments allow the State Board of Elections to adopt regulations relating to the use of a polling place.
Thank you so much.
The use of a building that has an alcoholic beverages license as a polling place, and it also, the amendments also make the bill.
No, it's just crazy. It should be an easy day.
Delegate Patterson. Okay, sorry, Stan, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So the amendments just allow the state board to adopt regulations to implement the bill and make the bill an emergency bill.
I move the
A
amendment.
motion-
Second.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the amendments?
No, just that I agree with Edith. This should be an easy day.
Is there a motion on the
Hey,
bill?
no snark, Hartman.
So
Stop
moved.
it.
Okay,
Second.
okay, so we're on a favorable as amended. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Thank you. The bill passes favorably as amended. Next, House Bill 394, Delegate Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a Prince George's County delegation bill. The bill changes the due date for 3 annual reports about county taxes and surcharges to October 31st. Move the bill.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Aye. Was that any opposed? Okay. The bill passes. Thank you. House Bill 449, there are amendments. Delegate Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill allows individuals who are at least 70 years or older to receive the renter's tax credit retroactively for 3 years. The amendment changes the effective date to June 1st, 2023. Move the amendments.
Second.
There discussion on the amendments?
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, any need for a roll call? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, thank you. The bill passes. House Bill 483, Delegate Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill requires SDAT to mail a notification about the homeowner's property tax credit to the individuals who do not file an income tax return. Move the bill.
Second.
Discussion on the bill. Okay, seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, thank you. House Bill 483 passed. House Bill 498. Well, I saw it late. We're going to skip the, oh, there you are. House Bill 498, Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 498, Election Law, Campaign Finance, Protection of Contributor Information. This bill prohibits the use of contributor information on our campaign finance reports for being used for commercial or solicitation purposes. The bill has no amendments. I move the bill favorably.
Second.
Roll call on this bill, I think. Yes, no? Okay, no roll call. Any
Madam Chair,
discussion?
it was unanimous in subcommittee.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, and the bill passes. House Bill 513 has amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Other than a sponsor problem, this is a very good bill that establishes in code the already existing infant and early child mental health support services program to aid children and teachers in early education setting and avoid behavioral problems and keep them from getting suspended. The amendments lower the appropriation for the program from $6 million to $3 million and corrects a few drafting errors. I move the amendments.
Second.
Discussion on the amendments. Delegate Buckle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Delegate Ebersol, you said that it strikes the mandated appropriation for the programs from 6 million to 3 million per year. I just took a look at the fiscal note. From my reading of the fiscal note, it says that we're already they're estimating about $1.3 million a year is already being funded into these different programs like Judy centers and things. So is the 3 million on top of the 1 point something, or it's the total cap, including what we're already doing?
No, and I was led to believe that it was already being funded at 2. So this is my understanding is it's 1 million above, but we could look, but it's an additional, it codifies the program and adds some money to it.
By codifying it, it's making sure that there's program continuity and it's in
Right.
statute. It's not something that MSD or whoever budgetary can tinker with from year to year.
I want you to be my co-sponsor right now.
I appreciate it. And in light of that respect, I intend to probably vote for the bill. I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
Thank you.
Further discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, please say nay. Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
So
Move the
moved.
bill as amended, please.
Second.
Discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, is there a desire for a roll call on this? Okay, all in favor of the bill as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Okay, thank you. House Bill 513 passes favorably. House Bill 618. Invite the vice chair, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move unfavorable on House Bill 618.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the bill? Shall we do a roll call or?
I believe so,
Yes,
Madam Chair.
okay. So this is on the unfavorable. The vice chair,
Yes.
Delegate Attar.
Yes, Madam Chair, can you hear me?
Yes. Delegate Barnes,
Yes.
Delegate Boatler,
No.
Delegate Branch,
Yes.
Delegate Buckle,
No.
Delegate Charles,
Yes.
Delegate Ebersol,
Yes.
Delegate Feldmark,
Yes.
Delegate Griffith,
No.
Delegate Guyton,
Yes.
Delegate Hartman,
Sleep at the wheel, no.
Delegate Hornberger,
No.
Delegate Ivy,
Yes.
Delegate Jones,
Yes.
Delegate Lasanti,
No.
Delegate Long,
No.
Delegate Lukey,
Yes.
Delegate Plavkovich Carr,
Yes.
Delegate Patterson,
Yes.
Delegate Rose,
No.
Delegate Wilkins.
Yes.
The unfavorable passes. So the bill does not. Okay, House Bill 635, there are amendments. Delegate Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill provides that properties that are exempt from regular property taxes are also exempt from special district taxes within the county. The bill has an amendment. The amendment removes special community benefits districts from the bill. Those districts will be addressed through local legislation. Move the amendment.
Second.
Discussion on the amendment. Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Discussion on the bill as amended. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposition signify by saying no. Okay, the ayes have it, and 635 passes as amended. House Bill 642.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill requires the city to send a notice about the homestead property tax credit to homeowners who have not applied for the credit and whose assessment increased by more than 10%. Move the bill.
Second.
Discussion on the bill. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, please say no. Okay, the bill 642 passes. House Bill 680, and there are amendments. Delegate Barnes, you guys have been working.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill authorizes the county to grant a personal property tax credit to a supermarket located in a food desert. The amendment makes the delegation the sponsor of the bill. Move the amendments.
Okay, discussion, Delegate Buckle.
Delegate Barnes, this is just for Baltimore County, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know, I have a little bit of concern about doing this. I appreciate the concept of food deserts. I have a little bit of concern about singling out one business for the credit, but as Baltimore County wants to do that and thinks it's important, I think that's fine. Thank you.
Delegate Hartman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So does this affect state revenue any?
No.
So it's only exempting the Baltimore County portion of the tax bill?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hartman.
May I speak, Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead, Delegate Long.
Yeah, the only problem that I have with this bill is that most grocery stores that are in food deserts, predominantly, hopefully, they do not own the real estate. And I'm just wondering how they'll deal with the property tax credit. Will it go to the landlord? And that's one of the questions I asked in delegation. That's one reason I want to vote against it.
Okay.
If I could just clarify, this is a personal property tax credit, not a real property tax credit.
Okay, I might have been thinking about something else then. Okay. Thank
Madam
you.
Chair, if I may, that was a mistake in some testimony. So Delegate Long's off the hook on that one. I'm glad it was corrected here.
Yeah. So hopefully we got your vote now, Bob.
I'm on the hook. I just want to clarify it. Thank you.
Never mind.
I know.
Any
Friday.
other, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on, any more discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, so Delegate Long, do we need a roll call on this one?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, please say nay. Okay, thank you. House Bill 680 passed favorably as amended. House Bill 725 has amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you. This is House Bill 725 establishes the therapeutic child care program in which MSD identifies eligible providers who provide child care for children under 6 who have significant developmental delays and physical disabilities or delays in functioning that necessitate very specialized child care and early education. The amendments alter the program from an entitlement per student to a proportional grant based on enrollment among eligible programs and eligible students. MSD identifies the eligible providers and allocates the funds based on that proportion. I move the amendments.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye.
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 In opposition, please say nay. Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
I move the bill as amended, Madam Chair.
Second.
Discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposition? Thank you. House Bill 720.
Madam Chair, could I do a me too on that bill, please?
Yes, you can,
Thank you.
because there are amendments. Griffith is paying attention.
Click me on there too, please. I just like to have my name next to the sponsors sometimes.
Okay, so Griffith and Eversol, anybody else?
I may be on this one already. Shoot.
Okay, House Bill 725 passes as amended. House Bill 753, there are amendments. The Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 753 is an emergency bill that requires the Department of Transportation, in consultation with the State Department of Education, to evaluate and report on the possibility of paying higher wages or prevailing wage to school bus drivers in the state by July 1, 2022. The bill terminates on June 30th, 2023. The amendment swapped out the Governor's Workforce Development Board for the Department of Transportation, which we thought is better suited for the Department of Transportation versus this, the Governor's Workforce Board. I move the amendments.
Second.
Discussion? Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the bill as amended signify by saying aye. Opposed, signify by saying nay. And House Bill 753 passes.
Madam Chair, may I
Yes,
get a me too on that one?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else? That was Delegate Lasanti. Okay. Okay, House Bill 862 has amendments. Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 862 alters the procedures for canvassing absentee and provisional ballots when more than one ballot is received from the same individual. We do have amendments to this bill. The amendments strike existing language in the bill and make it so that when more than one ballot is received and it's in separate envelopes from the same individual, the local board must count the first ballot that is determined to be legally sufficient and reject any other ballot. I do want to give a little bit more explanation on this because I know that hearing it can sound a little confusing. So just for background for everyone, you probably know that we find that sometimes voters end up casting multiple ballots. It's very rare. I think we found out that they were about 60 or so in 2018, and it's usually accidental. Right now, both ballots are thrown out. So this bill requires that one would be counted, and it would be the first legally sufficient one, meaning that the first proper ballot that is received that meets all of the requirements for a ballot to be counted, that's the one that would count. So for example, if a voter gets their mail-in ballot, they return it, and then for some reason they end up going to the polls to vote, they would have to vote a provisional ballot, and the first received legal ballot would be that mail-in ballot because that one is the one that's usually canvassed first. So in that example, the mail-in ballot would be the one that would count under this bill. So just to make sure everyone is understanding what we're doing here. So with that, I move the amendments to
Second.
House Bill 862.
Second.
Discussion on the amendments. Okay, all in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Okay, motion, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
So moved.
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Discussion on the bill as amended. Delegate Griffith and then Delegate Buckle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this is a bill we discussed a great deal in subcommittee. I'm grateful for the conversation. My concern is this. I agree that if two valid ballots show up right? One of those should count. They both shouldn't be rejected. I agree with that. My concern is that if a mail-in ballot shows up, that someone shows up at the polling place, the person who showed up to physically vote, that vote should be the superseding vote. Now, I was told the reason why is because they're going to be canvassing mail-in ballots early, right? Well, maybe then that caused the question. Maybe we should not be canvassing the mail-in ballots before Election Day. Additionally, the additional concern, excuse me, is lost train of thought. The additional concern is it was pointed out that in 2018 this only happened 56 times statewide. However, we have vastly expanded our mail-in ballot drop box laws since then, particularly in 2020. I've requested from Board of Elections a couple times in the last 24 hours the data of how many times this happened in 2020, because based upon the expansion of access to mail-in and drop boxes, the data probably will look much more like 2020 this time around than in 2018. So I'm not sure 2018 is apples to apples to what we're going to experience now. So for those reasons, I'm very, very concerned about this. And I want to make sure one person, one vote, and the in-person vote should take priority. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Yep, go ahead, Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the delegate for expressing that concern both in subcommittee and here in the full committee. I just want to underscore for the body that one of the reasons why we're looking at legally sufficient is that it works in all scenarios. One of the things that we don't want to do is incentivize people to vote a mail-in ballot and then, hey, I changed my mind. Something happens, you hear something about a candidate, whatever it is, and you decide, oh, well, let me just go vote in person and that one will count. We are not trying to promote the idea of voting twice, which is why it's critical that no matter the scenario, that the first legally sufficient ballot that is received by the Board of Elections is the one that counts. And Madam Chair, for further questions, the sponsor of the bill has worked really hard on this. So I'm going to yield to her just for further questions and comments that may come up.
Delegate Buckle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did just want to express somewhat similar to Delegate Griffith. I want to thank Delegate Wilkins and Delegate Feldmark. I appreciate the intent of bringing the bill. We don't want to disenfranchise anyone now that we're in this sort of brave new world of much more significant mail-in voting. I do think there will be people who signed up to mail-in vote, perhaps may have mailed something in, may have forgot that, may want to change their mind. Who knows? I think it's going to be very difficult to police. It won't be a ton of people. I don't think it will affect a gubernatorial or statewide election or a congressional election. It may affect more localized and smaller voter elections. And I don't know what the perfect solution is. I know it's a difficulty of, I would like to see them begin counting the mail-in ballots before Election Day or as early as possible, so that we don't have the scenario where we're waiting on results for a long period of time, or at least days after the polls have closed, because I think that just invites the type of lack of belief, lack of faith in some of the election results that unfortunately some segments of society has crept into. I don't have the perfect solution. For me, I would just say, if you showed up physically in person, you've been verified to be there and cast your ballot, that to me would be the best way to actually measure your voting intent. And as a result, I will unfortunately vote against this particular bill, although I just really have respect. I know Delegate Feldmark, Delegate Wilkins, and her committee have worked to try to find a way to do what we all want to do. It's a very thorny issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that. And just to underscore, the fundamental point here is we have to make sure that one of the ballots gets counted, right? When someone ends up casting two ballots in an effort to make sure their vote gets counted, we don't want them to inadvertently cancel their vote and lose their voice in the election. So we have to choose one of the ballots, right? And this is the cleanest, most efficient way to make one ballot count and not invite the opportunity for people to take a second bite at the apple. We do not want to encourage the practice of casting a second ballot because someone changed their mind. So, as the subcommittee chair said, this is an important piece of making sure that this remains a rare occurrence. And so I think this is the best path we have to make sure that everyone's vote gets counted.
Thank you. Delegate Butler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The question I have for the sponsor is that in the case where someone may want to dispute their mail-in vote, what is their recourse? Is there any recourse in this bill that would allow them to dispute it and at least have their case heard?
So I think, and this question came up in subcommittee, it's really important to recognize this bill is about when a single voter ends up submitting 2 ballots, okay? And both ballots were submitted by the voter, and it's about which one do we count and process, right? I think what you're asking about, Delegate, is a situation where a voter may say, I never cast that ballot, someone impersonated me, something isn't right, I didn't vote, okay? If that's the case, if it's not a matter of one voter submitting 2 ballots, if a voter actually believes that something illegal has happened and someone impersonated them and submitted a ballot on their behalf illegally, that is a completely separate criminal matter, okay? And that is something that if reported to the Board of Elections, they would refer to the state prosecutor, there would be a criminal investigation. That is not the scenario that this bill is dealing with, okay? This bill deals with one voter submitting 2 ballots.
The problem I see with that is that by the time the voter is able to challenge this or to say that, that I didn't cast that one vote, the election's over with, and then their vote doesn't count at all. And so for that reasons, I'm going to vote against this. We need to figure out a better way to be able to protect those voters, so that their vote will count.
Well, and Delegate, that is the purpose of a provisional ballot, right? Someone can vote a provisional ballot and then the investigation can take place to see what occurred. And then if it's found that they did not submit their ballot, then their provisional ballot could be counted. That protection is here.
Delegate Griffith.
Thanks for the second bite of the apple, Madam Chair. Delegate Feldmark, and I know we went pretty in depth on this yesterday. I appreciate your patience with me on this matter. And to follow up on Delegate Butler's point, this is a point I made yesterday in subcommittee, is so if I want to be very, very clear in the process. So if a mail-in ballot arrives in my name, I show up to vote. I say, I didn't mail in a ballot. I'm here to vote today. Obviously, there's some kind of potential fraud, and that'll be referred to the AG's office. In the meantime, would that ballot then be uncounted and my provisional will be counted? Or would that mail-in ballot still be counted pending the investigation, which could go on beyond the election results being decided?
So if you go to vote and you're given a provisional ballot, right? You may be, if you requested a mail-in ballot, you'll get a provisional ballot, right? If you know you requested one, but you know you didn't turn it in, then you can vote your provisional ballot and the provisional ballot will be counted, okay? If a mail-in ballot was actually received and you know you didn't send one in, then you can, at that point, report that was not your vote, that was not authorized. You would still vote the provisional ballot. They would investigate and the provisional ballot could still be counted.
So the mail-in
and
ballot,
the outcome of that investigation.
the mail-in ballot, because obviously there's a timeline when you're looking, because this is going to be on election day, typically, right? Early voting probably, but it could be as late as election day. So that mail-in ballot would then not be counted or be uncounted in place of my provisional ballot pending the investigation? Or does if I credibly report that that mail-in ballot was not sent by me, that's still going to be counted in this scenario?
Maybe I
That's
can help.
something the Board of Elections would deal with. Stan, looks like you're gonna.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think that the Board of Elections would work that out. And the language in the bill is legally sufficient. So if it wasn't cast by you, then it's not legally sufficient. And this bill would not compel that it be counted. In fact, it would disallow the counting of a ballot that was not cast by you because it would not be a legally sufficient ballot.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted for the good of the committee to just bring us back to the bill. This is about situations where 2 ballots are cast and which vote will be counted. I know that we're getting to a lot of different scenarios, but I just want to make sure that the debate is actually on what this bill is addressing, and that we spent a lot of time, I think everyone in the subcommittee would agree, we spent a lot of time walking through every scenario, making sure that everyone understood what we were trying to do here. So I just wanted to really make sure that everyone's understanding what the bill does and that we're keeping the debate on what the actual content of the bill is.
Okay, so is there a motion on the,
It's already been moved and seconded.
okay, the bill, not the amendments. Okay, so we're gonna do a roll call. The Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Attar,
Yes.
Delegate Barnes,
Yes.
Delegate Boatler,
No.
Delegate Branch,
Yes.
Delegate Buckle,
No.
Delegate Charles,
Yes.
Delegate Ebersol,
Yes.
Delegate Feldmark,
Yes.
Delegate Griffith,
No.
Delegate Guyton,
Yes.
Delegate Hartman,
No.
Delegate Hornberger,
No.
Delegate Ivy,
Yes.
Delegate Jones,
Yes.
Delegate Lasanti,
Yes.
Delegate Long, is Delegate Long with us? I actually don't see him on here, so okay.
Should we mark him absent or excused?
Excused. Delegate Ludke,
Yes.
Delegate Plavkovich Carr,
Yes.
Delegate Patterson,
Yes.
Delegate Rose,
No.
Delegate Wilkins.
Yes.
Okay, and the bill passes favorable as amended. That was House Bill 862. Just really quickly before we move on to the next bill, because I just got a text. If you have a bill hearing during voting, thank you for letting me know, one. And you can return to catch up on your votes and vote as long as it doesn't change the outcome of what we voted on. So I have no problem with that. Okay, House Bill 985. There are amendments, the Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 985 is a bill that this committee has been dealing with for the last 16 years in this legislature. It requires the State Board of Education to develop curriculum content for a half-credit course in financial literacy, and requires each county board of education to implement the financial literacy curriculum content in every public high school in the county. The amendment makes the course a half credit course rather than a half semester long course. The course must be based on the instructional content on financial literacy already approved by the state board. Rather than a graduation requirement, the course must be made available to students in every public high school in the county. I move the amendments.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
That was in support of or in opposition?
Yeah, in opposition of the amendment.
Okay,
I would like to be in opposition of the amendment too.
there a motion on the bill as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on the bill as amended? Does this need to be a roll call?
It was unanimous out of.
Okay, all in favor of the bill on a favorable as amended, signify by saying aye.
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 Madam Chair, I'd like to be a me too on it.
Me too.
That was Hartman,
Myself included.
Rose,
Hornberger.
Ivy,
Charles.
hold on. Hornberger. Hold on.
Me,
Memento.
me too.
Hornberger, Griffith,
Butler,
Boatler,
Branch.
Charles.
Charles, Attar, Patterson. Was that your
Yes.
hand up? Okay.
Yes.
Attar and Patterson. Anyone else? Okay, Alistair, I have that too. But-
Madam Chair, I just want to note that this bill has 98 co-sponsors on it, and I'm pretty sure everybody on Ways and Means is probably on it.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna add my name to it.
There we go.
Okay, and the bill, House Bill 985 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 995, there are amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
Yeah, this bill allows individuals who believe they qualify for oh, thank you, Madam Chair. I should have said that. Individuals who believe they qualify for participation in the Child Care Scholarship Program to participate in the program for 15 days before filling out paperwork, and then also to participate while their application is vetted by MSDE. In addition, individuals who qualify for participation in certain support programs will not have to pay their copay if they don't qualify entirely. That copay will be suspended because of their participation in those programs. Finally, an individual who does not seek child care support to participate in the Child Care Scholarship Program, or I'm sorry, I don't know what that sentence is about. The amendments alter the list of support programs which the participant does not need to make a copay. It also says that in asking to qualify, the individuals have to state what they believe their annual income is so that they can just figure out if they're going to be fully funded or have a copay. And I think that's it. I move the amendments.
Second.
Any discussion on the amendments? All in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
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 Noes, please say nay. Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
I move the bill as amended, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor of the bill as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, House Bill 995 passes as amended. Thank you.
Madam
House Bill-
Chair,
Yes,
can I please be added as a co-sponsor on that last bill?
yes, Delegate Plavkovich Carr. Anyone else? Okay. House Bill 1186 has amendments. Delegate Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill allows local governments to provide a property tax credit to elderly veterans or surviving spouses for a maximum of 10 years instead of 5 years. The bill as amended limits the maximum value of a home that may receive the property tax credit to $650,000. Move the amendment.
Second.
Discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Move the
Okay,
bill as amended.
Second.
discussion on the bill is amended. Okay, seeing none, all in favor of the bill as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, House Bill 11.
Madam Chair, can I get a me too on that one?
Yes, okay, hold on. Delegate Lisanti. Yes, Delegate Patterson wants to be on that. Delegate Attar wants to be on that one. Delegate Guyton wants to be on that one. Anyone
Charles.
else? Delegate Charles. Anyone else? Did I miss anyone? Delegate Branch. Anyone else? Okay, I have that stand too, if you didn't get it. Okay, House Bill 1186 passes favorably as amended. Coming to the home stretch, folks, home stretch. House Bill 1196. Branch, you got two bills on here. What's going on?
All branch bills are good bills.
It has amendments. Delegate Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill authorizes counties and municipalities to withhold any property from tax sale and enter into a payment plan with any property owner for property or for payment of overdue taxes. The bill also allows counties and municipalities to cancel or postpone a tax sale during the state of emergency. The bill as amended, 1, strikes a provision allowing local governments to withhold any property from the tax sale. 2, gives local government permit authority to withhold any owner occupied property from the tax sale. And 3, allows government to enter into a payment plan for any residential property or any property owned by a nonprofit organization. Move the amendment.
Second.
Okay, discussion, Delegate Buckle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So my question, I'm trying to follow through with the amendment reprint. And is what we're doing, we're taking out the kind of generic language that says that the local government could exclude the property from tax sale if they create their own, I'm just quoting what the prior bill language was, objective criteria for withholding property. And we're eliminating and saying that they can withhold the property if the property owner has enrolled in a payment program established by law. So they've got you owed us $2,000, you can only pay $200 a month or whatever the program is the county has done. If they're in the payment program, then they can hold it out. And then thirdly, and specifically, I'm looking at page 3 of the reprint, lines 11 through 20. Thirdly, if the local government withholds the property from the sale, then the local government has to pay the state. They have to come up with a mechanism to pay the state share of property taxes. They're just holding back their own share and working on a way to get that through a payment program. Is that essentially what the amendments are doing?
Your analysis are spot on, Delegate Buckle.
Thank you. Under that conditions, I think that's pretty good. I'd be happy to support the bill. Thank you.
Delegate Buckle,
Go ahead, Stan.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify a little bit more, so the payment plan provision under the amendments only applies to residential properties and properties owned by nonprofit organizations. And the bill also makes permanent existing authority of local governments to withhold owner-occupied properties from tax sale. That authority is currently scheduled to expire on June 30th of 2023.
Right. And that's something, if I recall, we did a year or two ago under that tax sale package that arose from some of the Baltimore City bills, and we pushed that through statewide. So that's great. Thank you, Stan, for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Delegate Guyton.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. So does this bill actually apply only to owner-occupied residential buildings or also to landlords?
So the payment plans provision actually does apply to rental properties to landlords.
Okay, so all in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
Move the bill as amended.
Second. Okay. Is there a discussion on the bill as amended? Would this like to be a roll call or we're good to go? Okay, all those in favor of the bill as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, 1196 passes as amended. House Bill 1247, Delegate Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill authorizes the county to grant a property tax credit to offset a property tax rate increase to an individual who has at least 65 years old, who is at least 65 years old and meets certain residency and income requirement. Move the bill.
Second.
Discussion on the bill, or any discussion on the amendments, rather?
No amendments, just a bill.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, any discussion on the bill? Okay, seeing none. All in favor of the bill, please signify by saying aye.
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 In opposition, please say nay. Okay, House Bill 1247 passes. House, the last, well, not the last bill. We have a group of withdrawals, but Senate Bill 158 as amended. Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 158, State Board of Elections, Contracts and Invoices. This bill is a cross-file to HB 35, which passed third reader in the House this week. This bill codifies the requirement that the cost of the statewide voting system be shared equally between the state and the counties. There are amendments to this bill, which just make the bill the same as HB 35 that we passed in the House this week. And as a recap, those amendments add a requirement that there be at least as many precinct polling places in 2022 as there were in 2018. And they also add a requirement that the State Board of Elections or local board of elections may not petition a court to delay the primary election to any date after July 12th, 2022. I move the bill amendments.
Second.
Discussion on the bill amendments. Okay, all those in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion on the bill as amended.
Move favorable as amended.
Second.
Discussion on the bill as amended. Okay, all in favor of the bill as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, Senate Bill 158 has passed as amended. We have a group of bills that were withdrawn. House Bill 509, House Bill 827, House Bill 949, House Bill 1090, House Bill 1092, House Bill 1114, and House Bill 1258. Is there a consent motion to accept the withdrawal of all these bills?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of the consent withdrawal signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, please say nay. Okay, thank you. Woo, that concludes the voting session of the Ways and Means Committee. Hold on just for 2 seconds. Let's go off the air here.